mean, honestly, that's the problem with being stuck. Is like if you knew how to not be stuck, you would not be stuck. You would unstuck yourself. It's like this idea of, when you lose your wallet or you lose your car keys or your cell phone or something, and then, someone says that funny remark of, where's the last place you had them? And I'm like, if I knew that, I would have them, right? And that's ultimately what led me to creating A Better Way, is that in this really difficult season for our family in every capacity, I kept saying to myself, man, there's gotta be a better way. There's gotta be a better way, where it's like, I feel like I'm sinking in the quicksand. I'm slowly withering away, and I don't know, I'm grasping. I don't know how to get out. I'm stuck, and it's slow, and it's painful. And I'll tell you what, it's not painful like physically, it's painful like emotionally and mentally. Like I've said to several people, I just feel like I'm a horse in a stable that is just ready to be turned loose. I'm ready to fix my situation. I'm ready to do better. I'm ready to confess my sin. I'm ready to turn into good decisions. I'm ready to be disciplined. I'm ready to not just ride motivation. I'm ready for healthy rhythms. I'm ready for new life and life abundant. I'm ready for all of these things, but I'm stuck, and it sucks. And you just wish that somehow that stable would open up and you could just stretch your legs and run towards that feeling of being unstuck, that feeling of hope, that feeling of freedom, that freedom of joy, of not being pressed all the time. As I continue to document my journey of unstucking our family, I'm going to share 4 questions with you that have dramatically, I genuinely mean this, that have dramatically increased my movement in this season. And more importantly, they have increased my day-to-day joy as we get out of the season, where it's not that I'm only walking towards a season where I will have joy, I will have freedom, I will have peace, I will feel better, right? And it's like I can experience that now in micro doses as I get to that place. And so I'm actually going to do this live, and I'm going to share the 4 questions with you, and then I'm actually going to go through it and tell you what my answers are live. And I'll keep it short and succinct. If you're watching on YouTube or you're listening to the Basement Podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts, I will be trimming out the part of me just sitting here in silence. But yeah, just so you know, I have my journal in front of me. I've written the 4 questions down, even though I typically do this on my phone because I have it all saved there. And yeah, I'm going to process this with you, because if you're listening to this, you may be stuck. It may be just one area of life, it may be a few, or you may be totally in a dark room and have no idea how to get out of it. And so I hope that these questions bless you like they have me. And yeah, let's jump in. So question number 1, what is one way that God is inviting me to know him better today? Feel free to pause this and answer it yourself if you have. This will really only take 5 minutes. So if you have the time, go ahead and pause it and answer that. And then I'm going to work on this myself. Okay, before we go to number 2, I hope it's okay. Feel free to fast forward this. I'm actually just going to read you what I wrote for that response. What is one way God is inviting me to know him better today? And I have quote this: I am not a harsh father waiting for you to mess up. What hurts you also hurts me. But turning from me will not solve your problems. Turn to me and trust me with your problem. And that's a struggle point of mine, right? And I'll talk about it till I'm blue in the face, but that's my own personal thing. And I wish I could hear what your response was to that. But I'm going to go ahead and move on to question number 2, which is, how does my family need me to show up for them today? Okay, and if you don't currently have like a spouse and kids, how does my community, maybe better said, how does my people need me to show up for them today? Feel free to go ahead and pause and answer that. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and read to you what I wrote for that question. So to answer, how does my family need me to show up for them today? I wrote this: Shalom in the home, greeting them with a smile, joyfully serving them. Don't project my external stresses in the home. And I think all that kind of parallels. And that was just the first thing that was kind of prompted to my heart based on like what my family's going through and what we currently need. And I think what my family needs me to do is not to fake happiness or fake joy or fake peace, but just to make sure that I'm not allowing my joy, my peace, and my happiness to be always determined by external circumstances, but instead I'm going to allow the peace that surpasses my understanding, it surpasses my rationale, and guess what? It surpasses my situation. And I'm gonna share that with my kids and my wife today. Question number 3, what is one action that would create the most momentum in my business today? And of course, this extends to anything. If you're in a different life stage, change the question that fits for your life stage, whether you're in school or you're a stay-at-home mom or you work in corporate America. Just answer the question based on what would give the momentum in your career today. Okay, I'm gonna share my answer to that one as well, which is, what is one action that would create the most momentum in your business or your career today? And I wrote this: stop overcomplicating things, doers do, post it. And then I ended it with respond to people. And so after I do all these 4 questions with you, I'm gonna share this idea, what's called the broken window theory. But essentially, the thing that's killing me is my analysis paralysis, me overcomplicating every single step. And one of the ways I'm actually defeating that is by recording this video for you right now. I literally said, and so just transparently, I was in the shower. Sometimes I do this practice in the shower anyways. And I was like, God, like what would create the most momentum for like my business today? What do I need to do today? And I thought to myself, wait a second, maybe other people would be encouraged by this practice as well. And so I was like, well, maybe I should record that. And maybe I should post that and send that out there to you all. So anyways, here I am. And finally, number 4, which is there something that I avoided or missed yesterday that God wants me to confront or step into today? Feel free to pause it and answer that question. And just so you know, some of these, the responses are not very heavy. They're not always like super, super deep or like where you have to change the world in a day. I'm gonna be very vulnerable with you with this response to that question, which was, is there something that I avoided or missed yesterday that God wants me to confront or to step into today? And there was a moment yesterday I dropped the ball. I dropped the ball with my marriage. There was a moment where I had an opportunity to compliment my wife on how beautiful she looked, and I did not take it. I know it sounds weird, but basically, Tori got invited to this like kind of Christian worship thing, and I needed to get some work done. So I was just totally locked in on that. And she said she wasn't going to go because she didn't have enough time. And then fast forward, an hour later, she said, I am going to go. And I'm like, oh, well, what changed? She's like, well, I took a shower and got ready and I felt cute. So I figured, hey, this could be a lot of fun to go with my friend Christian to this event and all that stuff. And whenever she told me she felt cute, I noticed there was a moment where I could have been like, yeah, you look gorgeous right now. She had this beautiful kind of sundressy thing on, like a denim vest and these cowgirl boots and all this stuff, but I didn't take it. And so I think one of the first things I'm going to do whenever she wakes up is just tell her just like how beautiful she looked in that outfit. And so I share that because not every response is going to be like this huge life-changing moment. But I think that that's just what was pressed in my heart. That's something I missed yesterday, and that's what I want to step into today. And the reason I share that with you is because I just heard about this theory. It's called the broken window theory. I don't know if you guys have heard about that at all, but it's this idea of, where a house that has one broken window soon will have all the windows broken. And it's the same kind of idea of like, if you have like a new car or something and you treat it so nice and then it gets its first scratch and then you stop taking care of it as much. You stop valuing it as much as you did. You stop appreciating it. It's like the standard was lowered. It's the same thing with maybe like your cell phone. Maybe you're that way, that like the first drop means you stop taking care of the phone quite as much as you used to. And it's this idea that whenever one thing is kind of fractured or wrong in your home, if the countertop is dirty, there's a mess in the laundry room, or there's food that's kind of going bad in the fridge, or there's some home repairs that need to happen, it kind of tells your brain psychologically that the standard now is lower, and I'm gonna now just embrace that lower. But guess what? Now everything else in your life will have a lower standard. And so this idea is that actually if you repair that broken window, metaphorically, your standard will go up in every single area in your life. And that doesn't mean that you need to go deep clean your house for 6 hours or go through all of your junk mail and bill mail in one day. But if you start taking small actions towards fixing those broken windows, it'll increase your standard and what you can do. Because there's a great quote that says this: the more you do, the more you do. The less you do, the less you do. And there's this like atrophy that happens whenever we are overwhelmed by our circumstances and we start to just feel paralyzed. We're just like, man, I can't, this situation's bigger than me. My problems are bigger than my motivation. My problems are bigger than my ability. I have no idea what to do here. It just reminds me of that metaphor of like the horse in the stable. It's like when they're just stuck in that 10 feet by 10 feet square stable, and they're not able to stretch their legs, they're not able to run, and their muscles atrophy. They get smaller. And so then if they were to be released, they can't run like they used to. They can't move like they used to because their body starts to wither away along with their hope. But through small actions like going up and telling my wife how beautiful she looked yesterday, through small actions like, hey, I'm just gonna record this, I'm gonna post it, I'm not gonna worry about it. Through small actions like this practice this morning that can genuinely take you less than 5 minutes, it can totally change the trajectory of your day. And you do it daily, then your trajectory of your life is going to change. And here's just my lasting little encouragement for you all, because there's a reason why I mention the word rhythms a lot. I don't know how much I've mentioned it in this podcast right here, but I do talk about the word rhythms a lot versus goals. And that's because whenever I had goals, I loved them and I almost worshiped them. It was like, I want to have this weight and this many abs, and I want to go to this place on vacation, or I want to have this much money in my bank account, or I want like this many kids, or I want to achieve this level of success, or whatever it may be. But the thing is with goals is that what happens when your circumstances change? Well, my goals didn't change, but my circumstances did. And so because my goals stayed really large, they didn't have a rhythm with my circumstances, my goals became too big for me. And then they became unattainable, which what? It depressed me. It left me feeling stuck. It left me feeling unable to move because that's just too far away. How could I save $100,000 when I can't even pay my bills? You know? And so the goal of $100,000, while is super sweet, it was something that actually became a hindrance to saving money because it felt so big. And so it's not even about lowering your goals or lowering your standards. Like, okay, I'll save $1,000. No, it's not that. It's saying, I want to enter a season of saving, and based off my circumstances financially, I'm going to contribute what I can. And so it's just a different mindset where you feel productive in every season, the peaks and the valleys. Whenever we shift our language away from goals into rhythms, it'll help us to have a healthy relationship with where we want to go in life, with the ebbs and flows of life, with the ebbs and flow of gas prices or grocery prices or motivations or what we're going through physically, whether you have an injury or you're getting pregnant or you get fired from your job or anything like that. Rhythms will ebb and flow with you. So I just hope that this encourages you. I hope that you'll take time to try those 4 questions, even if you just try it for a week or 2 weeks. I would love it if you come back here and let me know if it helped you, if it hurt you, if it was a waste of time, or if it was something that you could see working into your everyday practice. I know it's blessed me, and I hope that it blesses you. May God bless you. If you're listening to this still, I'm actually, here, where's my phone? I'm gonna read this to you. And for those who are wondering, it is currently 4:22 in the morning that I'm recording this for you. So, yay. I just pulled up number 6 because I want to speak a blessing over you. And so I'm just going to go and do this. May the Lord bless you and protect you. May the Lord smile on you and be gracious to you. May the Lord show you his favor and give you his peace. Until next time, I'll see you in the basement in a totally non-weird way.